everyone. This is Jamie Diaz with Barks to Basics. I have Amanda Kreiner here. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Jamie.
And today's super exciting because it's Q&A. You're supposed to say it at the same time with me. Q&A with J&A. So Q&A with Jamie and Amanda answering your dog training questions. So we've gotten these from TikTok, Instagram, all of those good things, fun things. So I'm going to answer some questions that I'm just looking over
some on
to.
TikTok already.
Oh, good. Do you have some already?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so Amanda, name one that we have.
All right, Amy Elizabeth.
Okay.
She just asked, how do I get my pups to pay better attention to me or listen during distracting moments? For example, squirrels.
Oh, squirrels. So distracting moments outside. So what I would say is, for one, you definitely have to have high value food items outside. So I'm going to tell you the story. I'm like all over the place. So I have a dog, Patty. That's one of my clients. And he was at school today. Patty is amazing. He listens so well. So inside, literally, he could be running to the door to say hi to somebody, and you say, Patty, here, and he whips around and turns to you. He does every cue verbally and hand signal. So now we have to do the cues outside to practice to make sure. We go outside, Patty. No, I couldn't even get his eye contact.
He's like, who's Patty?
So just imagine, like, now there's a squirrel on top of that. There is no way that you're going to be able to get there. Like, I'm asking too much of him. So now what I would do with Patty is probably maybe just walk out the front door with him and try and get some watchwees with the food, do different things. If your dog is over their threshold, and that doesn't mean like barking and lunging, but if your dog is so fixated on something and nothing you call, I mean, a good test is to call their name, right? Yeah. Patty once, Patty twice, you're getting nothing. You know, as the teacher, you have to make it easier for the learner.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would add for that?
I think if inside outside, it's a lot of people say in day training, my dog listens to you at the center, but he doesn't listen at home. It's a different environment, so you have to really start from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, have the door open. You don't even have to step outside. Just have the door open and be in your house or by an open window.
Yeah.
And making it so that you're like slowly introducing those distractions for them. And then you can set it up inside too. Like if you have someone in the room, have them throw something across the room. Something sudden that's going to be like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Indoors before they're outside with all the different distractions too will be helpful.
No, I saw something else come through, but it's like pass.
So many.
Oh, there is? Okay, go. Because I don't know where to look for the comments.
Okay,
go.
Do you want TikTok again? Okay.
Yeah.
So Disney Freak 1972 is asking, she says, or he, my dogs run off as soon as I open the gate. What can I do? They run for miles.
Ooh. So the gate, I'm assuming, like, they get out the front gate.
Sorry, I'm just laughing.
And they run for miles. So I would practice again. I think the thing that we forget is that if you're asking your dog to do something and they're failing, we really need to change it quickly. Dogs learn super quick, but there's so many distractions for the dogs, like especially outside. That's like a playground for them. What I would say is what we use a lot at the training center is to whistle train. So we whistle train our dogs. It's super easy. It's with a sports whistle. It's using high value food. You start inside, but the whistle has saved my dog's life like so many times when the long guy
literally saved lives.
The long guy, and I had 5 dogs at once. The long guy let him, let them out, and I have no idea where my dogs are. I get cheese, I get my whistle, I blow, and they all like come back. So I would say that I think we have some videos on that, but it's pretty easy. It's just like blow treat that the dog starts realizing to like come to you, right?
Yeah.
And I would say try and use management and not let them get out there. Hopefully, to run away so that we can set them up for success. Because once they do that also, it's like so fun for them to run away. I would also say, if they come back, even if they've just run 5 miles and they finally come back. So many treats.
Yeah.
Like still reward them because they will remember that and then you'll start building on that.
Yeah. Another thing you can do too is to make the gate like not so novel is work on, just like you do, like wait at the door at home. Like have your dog on a leash. So obviously if they get through, they're not going to like run to the neighbors or miles away. But work on like wait, touch the gate, creak it open just a little bit. Every time your dog stays there, just like throw treats at them. Like give them toys, give them whatever your dog finds most reinforcing, give them that. And then it'll be helpful too.
People can look at you too because they're only seeing me.
If you set it up somewhere else, they probably could.
Okay. I can see it a little.
Need to be on it.
Okay.
You can see my
you can
foot.
See your foot. Okay.
My feet.
So go ahead.
Well,
What's another one?
See you at all.
I know.
Oh wait, you moved it. Oh, you're looking at the screen now. Okay. These comments might lose their shit with squirrels. Same. My dog, squirrels, iguanas. I'm like, oh,
yeah, we have iguanas here, and the dogs love
did I
iguanas.
Tell you Raja caught.
You did. Remember?
A monster.
You had to like shower. You had blood guts.
I literally I'm nauseous. I still can't eat green beans. The crunching.
I did ask. I remember I asked you if you took a picture.
Oh, that's right. Miss Jamie over here. She's not like, oh my God, are you okay? She's like, oh, did you take a picture? I'm like, girl.
Sorry on Instagram for some reason it's just not going. So. All
right, you ready for the next question? Mm-hmm. All righty. So. Samantha M54. Oh my gosh, like 500 questions just came through, guys. Hold on, I lost you. She says, okay, 7-month-old Saint Bernard does not respect personal space and wants to bulldoze everyone. We do have an e-collar we can use if you think that's a good tool to use.
I would say definitely never an e-collar. Yeah. We're super against any of that, using any correction for that. The e-collar just suppresses.
Gonna make it worse.
Yeah, it's going to make it worse. It just suppresses. It's kind of like a Band-Aid that doesn't get fixed. And then, there's already been studies on, a lot of people will say, I use shock collars. They work great. Yeah, they work, right? But it psychologically damages the dog. And that's why a lot of people will say, oh, all I have to do is put the collar on. I don't even have to buzz it anymore. Or I just use vibrate. Well, that's
just a tickle. It's still.
Yeah. It still creates a fear response. Were you the one that told me about the, I think you said it on a podcast before, the pen, the vibrating pen that I've drives you like crazy. Yeah.
I hate those things.
So we want to make sure that we're not using that. Also, anyone on here, we do virtual training sessions. So we can help you with all of that virtually. If we can see you, we can coach you. But we also want to obviously be able to help you verbally like this as much as we can.
Yeah.
What do you got? Anything to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, on top of just don't use the e-collar. Something you can do to help with if they're jumping or not giving any personal space is, are we changing it? Hello. Mm-hmm. Is just something super simple is put treats on the ground, redirect your dog. So if someone walks in your house and they're like, woo, someone's here, like drop the treats, or you can even be a little bit more advanced, teach them to go to their place, different behaviors. And we have a ton of video Jamie does on her TikTok and Instagram showing how to train those specific things. So those would be really helpful too, just redirecting your dog, giving them something of equal or higher value so that every time they see a person, they're not like shitting themselves, that they're like comfortable to go somewhere else. Like, okay, I can go get my bully stick now. And then by the time that bully stick's gone, they go back to the person and that like novelty is worn off a little bit. So that could be something you guys could be interested in.
Good tip.
All right, moving on. All right, Natty Natasha, how can I know when it's a good moment to leave my puppy out of her crate when I leave? Border Collie.
Oh.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. How old is this? It doesn't say how old.
No age, but if you want to comment your pup's age, I'll try to find it.
Okay. So, we did a whole podcast about crate training. So the thing with crate training is I love the crate. I'm huge on the crate. I think there's going to be a time in your life that he has to go in a crate.
Almost a year. Sorry.
Almost a year. Okay. Whether you're going away, anything. So I love that you're crate training. I love dogs that are crate trained. It depends on the dog. So there's not really one answer. It depends. I always like to leave it up to a year, the crate, and then I kind of play with it. Now my rescue's 3 years old and we still have the crate. So now he's kind of graduated. He sleeps with Grayson now at night and we leave him out when we're not home. But if we have guests over or there's a lot going on, we still utilize the crate. So I would say you can start with slow, 30 minutes, go to Starbucks, go to Publix, see how your dog does, as long as he doesn't destroy anything. Yeah. Sometimes baby gates will help with that too. But other than that, take it slow. If your dog destroys something or has a potty accident, he's probably not ready for all of that freedom. Yep. But I still like keeping it because I feel like there's some point that your dog might need it, even if it's like away or always open. But I always like started. Do you still have the crate? You use your room. You use the room.
We use our room. We have it like gated off. Yeah, I would say the same thing. And you're honestly, if you're thinking about it behaviorally, you're training them to be out in the house the same way you trained them to be in the crate. So like you could leave them with the Kong. You can like work them into that way, because the first time you do it, I mean, gate them in the room instead of giving them access to the full house. See how they do in a room, because the second they get bored or anxious, they're going to be, causing havoc. So short time spans, just like you said, and I wouldn't at first give them access like the entire
they really don't need access to the entire house. We want them to sleep just like they do in the crate. So, start slow, I would say. And then I don't know which camera to look on, because we do tape the podcast, but then I'm looking at the thing. So it might be a little off for the podcast. Okay.
All right. These are so good.
Oh, good.
They're so good. I'm loving this. Okay. Sorry, guys. I can only see out of one eyeball. I got a bad eye. Gabby, I'm going to butcher it. Burlingame? All right. My 8-month-old boxer barks constantly at nothing. How do I know what she needs?
Oh, that's a great
I know.
question.
You guys, these are good.
So I would need more information than that. I would need to know barks at nothing. So are you like sitting in the living room and they're just barking? Do you live in an apartment? Is it noises? Is it in the middle of the night? How much mental stimulation are you giving your dog? So dogs will actually bark. If they're bored, they'll find something to not be bored at and they'll start barking. So I would say we need a little bit more information for that. But if you're not using mental stimulation, every day your dog, especially boxers, should get bully sticks, snuffle mats, licky mats, their food. Everybody get rid of your food bowls. Your dog's food should not be in a bowl. Give it in something fun. Even like a slow feeder is a puzzle. So you can use anything like that for your dog, but try using those kind of things. I would also say at 8-month-old, are you using a crate? Dogs need to rest. And if you're saying to me you're not using a crate, that means your dog does not get those forced breaks. It's kind of like you taking a nap in the middle of the living room and everybody walking around and doing stuff. Like, it's just not a solid sleep. Your dog needs to be like away, like covered, like quiet. Not quiet. I use a white noise machine and I blast it. But I would say if you have more like comments that you throw in there, I can answer that more. But I mean, is there anything you would, I would need more information at barking at nothing, like about those things. Like, are they getting enough rest? Are they, all of those things.
I mean, and you also want to start thinking, okay, what do I do to make it stop? So are you giving it attention? Are you talking to your dog when they're barking? Are you saying, what do you want, right? Even just that, your dog's like, ooh, she's looking at me, right? So you can, what?
Oh, sorry. I thought my friend Jen was asking a question, but she's.
But yeah, make sure give your dog treats when they're quiet. They're quiet. Okay, let's go do this. Then let's go do something. So that way they're getting that reinforcement for the quietness, not the barking. So start thinking too, okay, I may not know what you want right now, but at least if I can reinforce you for being quiet and then give you something to do, then it shows when I'm quiet.
Yeah, and that's a point. It could be a learned behavior because now you're like, what's the matter? What are you barking at? And you're giving attention to that. So now the dog's kind of learned to do that for attention. So it's kind of a loaded question. There's a little bit more that we would need to know.
Yeah. I'm just going down the list. These are good.
Go. I don't know where to find them on my screen. So
I got you. I'll be your little...
Okay.
I don't know what to call myself. What am I, the podcast pal? Is that what you called me last
my
week?
Podcast pal. Let's show Amanda again. There she is. Go ahead.
All right. So I lost my place. Where'd you go? Oh, a crazy penguin asked, my Bichon Shih Tzu mix knows all of her commands. She's 1 year old now, but she won't do it unless she has a treat. How do I fix this? She's super smart, but will only do commands if she sees I have the treat.
We get this all the time with force-free training. So this is the thing. A couple of things. One, if your dog is paid enough for the behavior, they're going to continue to do that. So a lot of people think that food is a bribe, and that when you take out the food, they're only listening for the food. It's probably because you haven't treated it enough. And now the food comes out and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to work for you. So I use this example with, I've said it before on the podcast, with giving my dog a treat in the crate. I give my dog a treat in the crate until they're 100 years old and they die. Like always, I give them a treat in the crate. Now, I know this happens to other people because I hear it all the time. You open the treat thing, I'm getting the treat ready to go in the crate. And what does the dog do? He runs down the hallway ahead of me and is sitting waiting in the crate until they get there. So I'm not bribing him saying, come on, come on. He knows I get paid for doing this behavior. I'm going to do it. So I would say there's probably some kind of faulty part in training. Also, if you train with the treat in your hand all of the time, they're only going to listen. Yeah. Put it in your pocket. And then when you're training, take it out. So start with something simple. I would say to start fixing this behavior. Let's start with sit. You have your dog sit. Good job. You take out the treat from your pocket, give him a reward. So start that way. So it's in your pocket. So it's not in your hand. Mm-hmm. And that could be a good way to start with like simple behaviors. And the dog's only one. So still has like a lot to learn. I think we had
someone too that said like, oh, they'll, even if it's in my pocket, they won't do it if it's not, because they can smell it. Well, even if that's the case, I always tell people, who likes the $5 section at Target? We all do, right? Mm-hmm. Go get a cute little jar, put it around your house so it blends in, hide it behind a picture frame. Use that. Your dog does something, don't have it on you so they can't smell it, they can't anything. Mm-hmm. Run and grab a treat and give it to them that way. So that way, I mean, if that's
I've actually chained it saying, let's go get a treat. And then we've like gone and get a treat. Yeah. I just wish next time, I feel like we should do it like this way. Sorry. So we can like see. I know, but then I'm like getting up and I'm going to try moving us. Vina's going to... Hold on, guys.
Vina's our director. I think that's her producer. Sorry, Vina.
I feel like you guys need to like see us.
I mean, you still cut me out. You're rude. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to like... now it's just me.
No, we're there.
You got to scoot your chair in or something. I know. Sorry, Vina. We love you.
Vina, I hope you can still hear us. It's all about the microphone. Okay.
Working on it.
So move up a little bit, I feel like. Okay. That's a little bit better.
I've got my like lazy mic.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. Next.
All right. Next. Let's see. My dog suffers from... oh, I'm sorry. This is Thea. My dog suffers from separation anxiety. What do I do? It's an Irish soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, soon to be 2 years old.
You start.
Day training.
A lot of people don't have it. So day training is like a school you bring your dog to.
There is some, or I mean, I don't love like puppy play day boarding places. The more your dog does without you, where they are being highly reinforced doing something that they love, I feel like the more confident they're going to be when you leave.
Yeah.
So that's one way that's like kind of out of your hands, like taking them to day play, taking them to like school or boarding for the day.
You can find a safe place and check it out that doesn't use correction, that there are those places out there like if you don't live in Florida.
Even if they don't train, like let your dog go and like be without you, but like love life. That's, I think, the easiest thing, and then we can go to training.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I hope we didn't mess these up.
Oh, okay. This one. Oh, sorry. It's going all over the place, you guys. So many questions now. Okay. This one's kind of in our wheelhouse a little. So you talked to Donna about this on a previous podcast. It's not really in regards to training.
Okay.
But user 342-589-509441 says, do you recommend a raw diet over kibble? Now, we can answer this maybe like for training a dog.
Yeah, so I usually don't answer any, I don't want to say I don't answer any food questions. I personally use just a kibble for my dog, and I was using... So there's freeze-dried treats. Those are my favorite treats, by the way, because that was one of the questions that I get asked from everybody. Yeah. Freeze-dried treats. So Pure Bites is one of the brands that I use. There's actually 5,000 different brands that you can use. It's single ingredient treats. Yeah. beef, salmon, chicken, duck, lamb. Everybody says their dog's allergic to chicken. Okay, fine. There's so many other proteins that you can find. But as far as food, so there's freeze dried and then there's like freeze dried raw. So I was feeding my own dog freeze dried raw for a while, and Donna, who's one of our, Dr. Schwartz is one of our veterinarians that comes on here. She said you can still get salmonella in those things from the freeze dried raw.
Because it happens before the freeze drying process.
Yeah, it happens. That's Kristen.
Kristen, we're recording a podcast right now.
I always forget to turn off my
What
stuff.
a turd. We love her. She's our director.
So I would say ask your veterinarian.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I don't steer anybody anyway. There's like people that swear by raw. There's people that swear by this and that. There was the whole grain-free thing. I don't get into food. I say ask your veterinarian.
Yeah.
I could just tell you that I use plain kibble, but that's as far as like I'll go unless.
Yeah. And I think like training, it's whatever's easiest. Like if you need higher value, like we'll recommend like wet dog food, like things like in that sense. Like I'll always say, like, use wet dog food, or like bring your dog's lunch. If you feed your dog raw food and they have like the farmer's dog, that kind of diet kind of thing, send them with that to train, or use that to train as their higher value. But yeah, definitely talk to your veterinarian, and you'd be surprised too that like sometimes the simpler foods for your dog, like they enjoy more. Like Raja goes nuts over the Pure Bites, beef liver.
I thought you were going to say the salmon. Yeah, the beef liver.
She like loves them. Like I don't know if they're like really flavorful or whatever, but yeah. So yeah, talk to your vet. But usually training is like it's easier to do the simpler food first. All right, this one's a good one too. You guys need to get usernames because user 105693.
I mean, I think they're fine. They'll know their question.
Yes, my dog will be too soon. Is it too late to make her less reactive?
And my dog will be what?
He'll be 2 years old soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it too late to make her less reactive?
So I would say it's never too late. Old dogs can learn new tricks. It depends. Now, will your dog be like completely cured? We don't know. It depends on the dog. It also, what I tell people is this, like, even if they come to me, their dog's 10 and reactive. And 2, by the way, is another fear kind of imprint stage. So actually a lot of dogs seem like they get more reactive at 2. So I would definitely contact like a force-free professional trainer if you can soon. But I always say when people come to me, your dog will be better than they are today because you're going to have the skill set. If we need to send you a behaviorist, we will, depending on how bad the reactivity is, how stressed your dog is. But all dogs can make improvement. It depends if you're like a lazy dog owner or not. Like, are you a dog owner that is going to work on this every day? Or are you a dog owner and there's nothing wrong with that? I'm a lazy dog owner. I don't want to do much with my dog, so I send him to school all that. And not that I don't want to do much. I have 2 kids. I'm very busy. So I supplement that with other people doing stuff with my dog and giving him food puzzles and stuff at home. But if you're that type that is like, and there's so many out there that are really into like working and improving with their dog, you can make a lot of progress if you're going to work with your dog like once a week. But I will say I've never met a dog that I'm like, nope, there's no help. This is it. It's like they've always improved. Now you have to be realistic. Like you might not be taking that dog to Starbucks, but we definitely can get him to walk past another dog in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't happen overnight, and we're good at our jobs, but we're not magic makers, so it does have that something that like you have to be diligent at home. You have to make sure every single time you are with your dog, you're training your dog, like, because the reactivity often happens when it's unexpected, and that's why we fail, because we're not prepared. So if you're not prepared, you're not setting your dog up for success. So I agree. Okay, for those of you that are joining, because a lot of people just joined, send us your questions. We're answering everything and anything that pops up on here. So I'm actually going to, two of you guys had kind of a similar question. We answered a little bit earlier, but I think we can go further into detail with it. So Thea says, we just answered the question. They live in Norway, which is really cool.
Hi.
So they have problems with home alone training. And then another user who doesn't have a name, says, I'm dreading making plans for a vacation, leaving my dogs for 4 nights. How could I make it go? And then I can't read the last, but I'm sure you're saying, smoothly as possible, to be safe with a family member. They'll be safe with a family member, but I'm dreading it.
I would say start before you leave, maybe doing little things. So this is the thing. we're going away. We practice with our dogs, and our dogs have never been by themselves, and we're going on a 2-week vacation. Like, that's going to be super stressful for your dog. I think we see this a lot with, like, especially little dogs. And listen, we love our dogs. We want to be with them all the time. Yeah. But this is what happened in COVID. Nobody left their dogs, and I never saw so many puppies on medication since COVID because they really had a hard time. What you can start doing is, I mean, there's so many more questions too. One, I always like, if you can find a like family member or something to stay. Everybody's different. I like having somebody come to my house and stay there. Some people don't like people staying at their house. Whatever you choose, start it now and see how bad or how stressed it is. If your dog is super stressed when you're away, we have dogs that board across from us, and we'll do like board and trains with them. If they're super stressed, their parents talk to the veterinarian about medication. Like, some of them are really stressed. So I would say, so. I mean, you get stressed when you leave your dog, right? I mean,
oh my gosh. I was actually talking to my husband about it last night. I was like, do you remember when we lived back up in Michigan and we would leave our little 1-bedroom apartment to go to get like dinner, and I was so anxious leaving her that I'd be like, let's turn around, let's just get takeout. Like, I was that owner for a while because of her anxiety. It would stress me out. So sometimes it's one of those things where if like you're the owner and you're stressed, a lot of times you're making it stressful for your dog.
So let me ask you, your last trip, why did you take her?
To Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, because she's reactive. I can't leave her with a stranger.
So you have to take her every time you go away?
Yeah.
What are you doing when you go to Italy?
My mom's coming down here.
So there is other options.
Yeah,
so you don't have to take.
Options. Yeah. Like you have friends that can come to the house and things like that. So you just have to make sure that like you're not overstressing for nothing. Like if you have someone safe that's coming to your house and they're prepared, give them emergency phone numbers, give them, whatever they need, medications if needed. Not the people, but unless they need it too.
Yeah. Get doggy cams, and also if
Furbo's great. I got a Furbo, so nice.
She's so annoying with it. She when we were away,
she's so cute. Look at her.
But I was
dog mom.
What the heck was I going to say now? I forget about the cameras. I'll remember. It was something about I was going to say, if your dog has separation anxiety, like severe separation anxiety, that's what you're talking about, then you have to contact a trainer, a force-free trainer. We can actually do that virtually. Yep. Actually, I realize I say actually a lot.
Actually?
Yes. I'm writing a book, and I said I had to erase so many actuallys when I went back in it. I swear to God that there's so many actually, so I apologize. And I also start my videos out the same way every time. But if it's separation anxiety, you have to get a trainer on board. We can do that virtually. I love seeing how the dogs react when the person's like leaving, like online. So So that, again, there's more questions than just like leaving home alone.
Yeah. Oh, I've got 2 good ones.
Okay.
All right. So Art by Jamie GB says, Cockapoo is 1.5 crate trained, but struggles to settle outside of the crate. I tether her, but she chews through it until she's free. Any tips? Been working on this for 2 months. She doesn't seem to be working. Can I say something?
Yes.
Stop tethering your dog. Stop. Because that's almost worse than that is worse than just leaving your dog in the crate if she's stressed in the crate.
She's not stressed in the crate.
She's not stressed in the crate. But what you're doing is you're confining her. She's going to chew through that because she's like, this stinking thing won't let me go anywhere I want to go. Instead of tethering her, give her like a baby gate or gate her to a small room. It was 1 year,
they said?
1.5 years. Yeah. If you want her to be outside. And then my question is too, is like, why does she have to be outside the crate for things? Like, are you leaving? When do you want her to settle? Because some dogs don't tether anymore. That's stressful for them.
Some dogs won't settle when they're just out hanging out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Finley doesn't like when we're sitting on the couch. Like anywhere else, he's fine. If I'm in my room getting ready, he will like lay down on the bed and like go to sleep. Like if I'm in there for 2 hours, for some reason, the living room couch is like a trigger for him to like start playing, start trying to get me to play, start barking. So when we're like doing movie time or something and it's that downtime, he's in the crate. Yeah. I would utilize that crate. Again, there's more questions to that question.
Do like,
puzzles,
puzzles,
like
snuffles,
do stuff.
Bones, things like that. But adding like the leash, even though it's not like aversive, to the dog can seem So,
Yeah.
you know. All right, next one. What are your feelings on dog parks? My dog absolutely loves them, but I'm on the fence safety-wise.
Oh, I love that question.
That's a really good one.
So again, owner kind of choice. I'll tell you
another good one. You guys keep them coming. Keep them coming.
She was nervous about doing this way. I knew you guys.
Oh, but this is good.
I knew you guys would come through. We're gonna do this like once or twice a month because I think it's so important. I can't answer all these questions like on social media. So hopefully we give you like some kind of tip that you can use. So
also, on the phone, you can only see our knees now. I don't know what's happening, if it's like zooming in or what, but on that we can see bodies. But here we can't. So you guys, we're here.
Do I need to move it?
But I don't know. I just turned it to face you. I don't need to be on it.
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, back to the dog parks.
I was just looking.
Concerned about safety-wise. So I'll start, if you don't mind.
Still knees?
No, now you can see my face a little bit. Not yours, though.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't recommend dog parks because of the safety issues. Because even though your dog might be great, you don't know who's bringing their dog there. I feel like that's the number one place that like dogs get hurt, or your dog learns bad habits. So I don't love them. I like when it's more. I mean, we have day play at our day training facility where you can bring your dog, and it's like very structured play. They're with dogs with the same temperaments and qualities and sizes and stuff, where I just think it's not monitored. It's just a bunch of owners. And unfortunately, I mean, even before I was a dog trainer, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and we didn't recognize behavior. So I think sometimes it can be like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
In some cases.
I guess for some people that don't have a yard and that like she said, or he, that their dog loves it. Mm-hmm. So I just say take precautions. One, you don't know. Are we still seeing knees?
You can see my nose and my chin.
That's so weird.
Yeah, you're not in it though.
One, you want to make sure that your dog is, well, obviously your dog's vaccinated, but you don't know if the other dogs are vaccinated. So they can catch something there. Two, I go on like off times and just make sure you know the dogs that are there, that they're not, a lot of people come home from work and they just let their dog run rampant. They're not paying attention. They're on their phones. But the other thing is too, have something like Spray Shield, which is like a citronella spray that you use to, if there's a fight. Because only emergencies, yes.
Because people get nervous and then like, and it can really.
Yeah. By the way, I've had comments on my social media that I'm not force free. I always have a can of citronella spray on me for a dog fight or if a dog attacks me. So
we also need to be safe, guys.
Yeah, we need to be safe. So I do not use that for any training, but this has happened. How many people on here have had their dog attacked on a walk, that a random dog gets off the leash and attacks their dog, right? So Amanda has, I'm sure there's a ton of you guys. And what do? You're screaming, you're yelling, you probably get bit. You pulling your dog gets them bit. So if you're going to take them to a dog park, have a can of citronella for those emergencies. If they're having fun and you think it's safe and the dogs, you know the dogs and you have like the same dogs that go every time, like go, but just be careful of like not to. I'm going to try and fix this again. Why don't you read the next?
You just move forward a little bit.
Me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Next question while she's adjusting the camera. All right. Yeah, you're in it now.
I'm back.
I'm not, but that's okay.
Okay.
All right. This is a good one. So Kip's mom says, the vet told me to see a behaviorist. He won't prescribe meds for separation anxiety. Do you agree?
Why?
Like I think. All right. So Kip's mom, I think you're meaning that your vet won't prescribe the medications. They want you to see a behaviorist. I'm thinking, which I think is legit.
Yeah. A lot of veterinarians do. Most of the ones that we work with do, but a behaviorist is the one if the behavior's okay. Yeah. If the behavior's that severe, the behaviorist is the one that's going to give you also behavior modification plan with a trainer, hopefully that or they do it at the office. Like we work with a team with the behaviorists around here. They go, I know nothing. I know when dogs need medication or they need something, but I don't know what that is. So that's when we'll refer to the vet or the behaviorist. Yeah. And a lot of veterinarians, if it's that severe, or they will say, go see a behaviorist. Yeah. They are effective and worth the money, I feel like.
100%.
And excuse me, they're the ones that like know all the research, know all the things about the medications and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're like the best at that. Yeah. That's like what they do.
In my experience, like your vet can prescribe like situational. Like I didn't take Raja to behaviorist for travel. If we have like a party, like they can give you those kind of meds where it's just okay, kind of knock your dog out for a little bit, taking the edge off. But like behavioral issues, I mean, anything that's like not, hey, I just want to drive across the country with my dog kind of thing. I just recommend to go to like a behaviorist all the time because they, like you said, they know the different medications. And like 9 times out of 10, the first one's not going to work. It's just like humans. You know, humans try different medications. Oh, this one makes me feel weird, or this one, I don't like this. It's going to be the same with your dog until you
groggy
get
with this one.
the right combination, the right dosage, and they specialize. They go to school for that. So, definitely. They're on
just
the right
FYI, we have like 5 minutes left of questions.
I know, but that's the last question right now. Oh, well, we do have one. This one really isn't our trade, you guys. So how can you tell if your dog has an ear infection? Just go to the vet.
I would say, go to the vet. They shake their head a lot. They annoy that. I would say that.
So, but again, we are not doctors or veterinarians.
Let me just see if there's anything on here. Okay, let me do some of these really quick. So somebody said, any idea? So I did a video with a Dachshund that was pulling. By the way, I did a video, if you go to the TikTok, with the Dachshund that was pulling. It got like, it's at like, I don't know.
With little Benny?
With little Benny out of the garage. It like has 250,000, something like crazy for him pulling, right? Yeah. I changed his harness to the Freedom harness.
I saw that today.
That was like the first time working with him with the harness. Was he in Fort Lauderdale today?
Yeah.
It was like holy. Like the dog was amazing. Now, yes, and everyone says you're gonna ruin their gait and all this stuff. Like that's not the case. If you would have saw Benny walking on the back clip harness that we used, walking around the neighborhood,
was a two-legged wiener.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen. So we do like the Freedom harness. Oh, back to the question. Somebody said we can't use peanut butter because of an allergy. What can I use? Anything. Wet dog food, cream cheese, pumpkin, cheese stick. Like it was on the spoon because he was like little. So we were trying to think of something like that.
Like yogurt on a spoon. Like get a ladle, a big spoon, so you can literally, and then freeze like yogurt. Freeze, chicken broth.
Yeah.
Something
as long as they like it, as long as you find their currency, then that's good. Yeah. Somebody asked, why do I throw the treat? Everybody asks us, why do I throw the treat during training? So I get mixed things on this because everyone says I'm not teaching my. I don't want to. I teach my dog not to pick up things on the floor. So I don't have I do this all the time in training. We don't have like the dogs like randomly like just picking up random crap on the floor. Like because I'm throwing a treat, they're like in the moment, like they get the treat. Now with a group of dogs, you can have some guarding issues and stuff like that. But with a single dog that is reinforcing to them to throw it and come back, I want them to make the choice to go get it. Now, what if they weren't enjoying the interaction with me and they just really like the food? That gives them an out. Mm-hmm. I throw the treat, it gives them an out to go. And
like a breather. And
also a lot of dogs have hard mouths. So I don't like giving the food to my hand anyway. Mm-hmm. So you can also use a spoon or something like that. But I've done these things like thousands of times. So like for me, I had the data that it's worked for me and it hasn't caused more issues. Mm-hmm. But if you didn't want to throw it, but that's why I throw it on the floor. But if you didn't want to do that and reset the dog, you can do something different, like you hand it to them or have them lick it. But if your dog has a hard mouth and you keep giving them a treat, they're going to continue to have a hard mouth.
Yep.
I already said, what kind of treats do I use? Oh, this real quick. So is it normal for my 4 minutes? Is it normal for my 9-month-old puppy to still be biting a lot? That's not normal for a 9-month-old puppy to be biting a lot still. I would say they probably practice that behavior a little bit too long. I would also say maybe maybe he's understimulated, he's not getting enough stimulation, overstimulated. When I got Finley, he was like a year, they think. He was biting all the time, these like little nips. And I had to go to like bully stick crate, and then it would lessen. It took him like a while to be out. So you might want to like do activity, potty, crate, like try to reduce that biting all the time, but it's not normal that a 9-month-old puppy should still be biting skin. Do you not agree?
No, I agree. And I think too, it's just one of those things that like, watch the way you're playing with your dog. Are you allowing it during play? Like, are you reinforcing it in other ways too? There's sometimes we do it, we don't even mean to. So
yeah. Well, I definitely want to thank everybody on TikTok. I'm sorry for Instagram. I could not get I don't know why I kept saying like the connection, but you can listen to all of these answers too and follow us on Barks to Basics, our podcast. You can listen to wherever podcasts are, Audible, Apple Music, Spotify, kind of everywhere, any app, iHeartRadio. As when I went on iHeart, they started talking about that you can get it from that app, and you can follow us at Dynamite Dog Training, at Lucky Dog Training Club, at Barks to Basics. I always have to remember all of them, on Instagram and TikTok, Facebook, all of that. But also, we are going to be trying to do these. So if you do follow us on social media, you can also start following Barks to Basics, because we'll have like a bunch of clips from there on here. But if you have questions, we will try to get to as many live questions as we can. Like we said, we're going to do this once or twice a month, because I think it's important to be able to educate and give people information, because I know a lot of people are struggling. So hopefully we helped you. Thank you again, Barks to Basic, Jamie Diaz, Amanda, thank you for joining again. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.